Hey Catgangas, DEVA here. I promised to give you the top 5 build videos. So today I have for you the best in-slot dual blades for each of the 5 elements. These are not estimations, it all has been calculated. Also what you're about to see are not comfort builds, so don't expect any defensive skills in there. I'm going to make as well farming builds, but not on this video. So the following builds might be hard to make because of rare decorations, but that's the purpose of it. They have been optimized as hard as possible and there is not gonna be any build for any element better than this. Our top 5 weapons will be Kadachi for thunder, Biotutus for ice, Anjanath for fire, Eurotutus for water, and for dragon we are using the bone dual blades. Slap like now if you crafted one of those before you saw this video. All of the builds will be almost the same armor parts and skills, since we're using a Silver Rathalos forced bonus to gain the skill True Crit Element, which boosts your elemental crit damage for about 60% to 70%, we have no exact numbers for that now, and it's by far the best skill for elemental weapons if you want to go full out and have space for all necessary skills. I'm going to quickly explain all the skills, so I won't be repeating myself during the video for every single build. The only thing that changes are the elemental attacks. Affinity means crit chance, so all of these builds except Anjanath have 100% affinity, which means every single of your hits will be a critical strike, and so the skill True Crit Element applies the 60% more elemental damage on every single hit. Critica eye level 7 for 40% affinity increase, Weakness Exploit for 50% affinity on tenderized parts, or just 30 on weak spots. Critical Boost will increase your critical hits damage from 125% to 140% damage. Remember, this only applies to the raw damage of your weapon. Handicraft will only be used here to reach the next level of sharpness, for example blue to white or white to purple. Sharpness does not only boost your raw damage but as well your elemental damage. It's about 6% if I remember right. Protect Polish, which will prevent us from losing sharpness. So you polish your weapon before you approach the monster. This will grant you infinite sharpness for 60 seconds, but we have the next skill, which is Item Prolonger. This skill increases the time for another 30 seconds, but not only that, this will also applies to any kind of items, for example dash shoes or attack and defense powders or seeds. So once you sharpen, you will be able to maintain your sharpness for about 2 minutes. That's why we only need a tiny bit of max sharpness level. If you're missing this jewel, which is pretty rare, you can just slot in more handicraft, it will do the same job almost. Most of the builds will have a few free slots, so you can decide if you go for damaging skills like me, like Agitator and Attack Boost, which both rise your raw damage and affinity, or go for more comfort skills like Health Boost, Avoid Window, or stamina managing skills like Constitution or Marathon Runner. So now that you have an understanding of how these skills works, I can show you all of the builds. As for augments, you will always go 1 affinity to reach 100% crit. The rest can be all elemental damage up, just like the modes, 5 times element up for extra 50 from the modes. Again, if you want to switch to comfort mode, augment for health regeneration, I'm really not holding you back. Okay, let's start with the thunder dual blades. You're going to craft the Kadachi dual blades, which are barely better than the Kirin for DPS purposes due to purple sharpness. This gets you a 343 raw damage, purple sharpness, 100% crit chance and a 660 element. You're going to use 4 beta parts from Silver Rathalos and the Kirin long RSP, since they come with an insane amount of slots and 3 thunder attack, so they're the best in slot. Next are the ice dual blades. You're going to craft them on the Biotutus tree. 371 raw damage, natural white sharpness, so this build will give you so much space for any skills of your wish if you don't wanna go with Agitator. 100% crit chance and 700 element. These are by far the best in slot. The Banbarrow are good as well, but the problem is you need 3 free elements since they come with hidden element and there is no way to build that in without to drop any damage. I tried it and I was almost able to build it in, but I was missing 1 Protect Polish, and without Protect Polish on the other ones we had no sharpness. This time you use the 4 beta parts from Silver Rathalos and the young Garuga legs because they're the best in slot. The Dragon Dual Blades are probably my favorite because they have the highest element of all and just look amazing. Capcom did a really bad job with Dual Blades designs once again. Some of them are super good, but a lot of them look like chicken legs or are copy pasted. You can craft this by following the Dragon Bone tree. Your final stats will be 361 raw damage, white sharpness, 100% crit and an insane amount of 780 dragon element. This will demolish Rathalos and Rathian family. If you want to see gameplay of this, be sure to check out my Azure Rathalos run. I will link it in the description, you sure will enjoy it. You're going to use again 4 beta parts from Silver Rathalos and the young Garuga legs. For the Water Dual Blades, we don't have much options and it's very clear which are stronger. The Yura hatches, you can craft this on the Urantodos tree. I have no idea why there is no Namiel Dual Blades and it makes me really sad. These have a very high row of 385, white sharpness, 100% crit and 630 water element. The armor remains the same again with 4 Silva parts and young Garuga legs. Let's go to our final element, which is a fire. I was really hoping that Silva and Gold Rathalos Dual Blades will do more damage than this because of the free poison and purple sharpness. They're still head-to-head race, so I may make an extra dedicated build video for these. The Angela Twin Reapers can be crafted at the Angela tree and they're going to have with 399 the highest row of all dual blades. And no, this is not a PewDiePie's chair reference. White sharpness, sadly only 80% crit but still the most damaging ones. And a 700 fire element. I recommend you to take some affinity boosters with this. You can also replace a skill agitator with double latent power if you think you will manage to activate it before the monster dies. Here we are using the alpha helmet and chest because they come with fire attack and is way more efficient than the beta parts. Arms and coil remains a beta of course and again the young Garuga legs. I want to point out it really depends on your setup or monsters you're fighting what dual blades to use. Don't ever look at Hunter's notes, it's the biggest absolute complete bullshit to ever exist in this game. People asked me recently why Iceborne blade doesn't do much damage on Sinogre even though he has a 3-star weakness. 3-star can still be 0 damage on some parts that have 0 hits on value. So there is hits on values on every single monster part for every single monster and for every weapon type and element. This will most likely cut your completion times in half and make easier choices for you what to use. What are hits on values? I'm sure there is a lot of videos about that. Be sure to join my Discord server too, we have a bot that shows hits on values of monsters. I hope you all enjoyed the video and finally answered your questions, which are the best dual blades for each element. I spent a lot of time on that. If you can just take 2 seconds of your time and like the video, I would appreciate it very much. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below. I love reading comments and respond to every single of them whenever I get some free time. If you don't want to miss any content of me, be sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that bell on because right now I'm on fire and try to bring almost daily content out. With that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting.